Hi everyone, it's April here and I'm back with a very delayed instalment of Inktober, week 3. So I'm going to be looking at 10 days, but only 5 of them in detail. So the first day that we're going to look at is day 11, where I drew a whooping crane. So a whooping crane is the largest bird in North America. And I was really interested to find out that in the 1940s, their population got down to only 15 cranes. And then the conservation efforts basically worked really hard to get them back up. And now there's about 800 of them left. So they're still endangered and there's still efforts to try and, keep their habitat and everything good for them. So this is the whooping crane. So this video is super delayed and I'm also very behind on Inktober. I still have 12 to go and 6 days to do it, I think. Something like that. The reason is I got super busy at work and I knew I was going to be busy, but I didn't know I was going to be as crazy busy as I was. I basically spent an entire week in the third week of October staying in the office till like 12 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I worked 2 weekends in a row, and then when I finally got a break last Thursday, I think it was, I was so tired I didn't even draw for like 3 days. But I'm back at it now and I'm trying to get through them all because I do want to finish them by the end of October because I want to get into doing some different stuff in November. So I'm still really enjoying Inktober. The last few days I had to draw cats, which after drawing so many sea creatures, the animals after the sea creatures have become so difficult to draw. Like these cranes I didn't find them too hard, but when I get into some of the later animals in this video, I took so long to sketch them and try and figure out what they looked like. Man, I'm telling you, fish are the way to go. I may just draw fish for the rest of my life because those things are easy compared to some of these animals. So that is the whooping crane. And then keeping it in the bird family, the next animal I drew was the blue and yellow macaw. So you're going to have to use your imagination a bit as I don't have any yellow inks. So it's the technically the blue and pink macaw. But these are considered the most beautiful of the parrot species is what Google told me. And they are highly intelligent, and the main reason why they're threatened is due to habitat loss and illegal pet trade. So people taking them out of their natural habitat, maybe to other countries, and then selling them illegally in pet stores or privately. So I thought this one was quite fun to draw. The only problem is it has these lovely, long, beautiful tail feathers, and obviously I'm doing like a square format, so I couldn't get all the tail feathers on, which is a shame because it's a really beautiful bird. And then I really enjoyed doing this little gold twig. I thought it was kind of a fun little piece of gold accent. I'm still no better at doing gold circles. Circles are just hard in general. I wish that you could put a paintbrush in a compass and then just draw a circle. That would be cool. Someone should invent that if it hasn't already been invented. I'm still finding this gold paint really tricky to use. I actually brought 2 new bottles, but I haven't used them yet. I'm trying to get to the end of this bottle, but it just seems to separate after like 10 seconds of shaking it. So I persevere, but it is very frustrating. And that is the blue and yellow macaw. And then the next couple of days, I haven't included in video form. This is a sea otter. And the next one is an ocelot. Is that how you say it? I really didn't like how these guys turned out, so I didn't include them in the video. But these little penguins I thought were so cute. They're the Magellanic? They're the Magellanic penguin. They're South American penguins, and there's actually millions of these penguins, so not quite as endangered as other creatures, but they're considered threatened due to the vulnerability of their breeding colonies. So basically 40,000 penguins are killed each year by oil spills, which I thought was a crazy fact because I didn't even realize there was that many oil spills in the ocean, or that many birds or sea creatures were being destroyed by them. So that was pretty sad. So I guess 40,000 penguins each year, that's like a lot. I mean, that's 500,000, right? So yeah, that's why they're considered threatened. And this was actually one of my favourite ones that I drew in this week, I guess. I don't know why. It's just, penguins are so cute and they're so funny. And it was really fun to draw and to sketch. And I guess it's also simple because it was mainly white, so it wasn't too much hard work. I got kind of lazy actually last week. I did spend a lot of time on them, but I just wanted to sleep mainly. But is anyone else getting bored of Inktober? Because by the time this video goes out, we have about 5 or 6 days left. And I know that it always gets hard towards this time of the month when you can see the end zone. Wow, sports reference. You can see the finish line, and you kind of just like want it to hurry up. And I mean, I'm already thinking about Inktober for next year. Last night, I said to Martin, my boyfriend, I was like, I have an idea for Inktober. And he said, I thought you already had an idea for Inktober. And I was like, no, 2019. I mean, how can we be thinking about Inktober next year? I haven't even finished this year yet. But I definitely want to finish because I want to do all of my endangered animals that I've got. I think it's really important to kind of, share the information and, I don't know, just learn about it myself, really. I've learned so much this month just by researching the animals. And it's going to make fundraising for them a lot better because if you didn't know, I'm basically fundraising for the WWF, which is the World Wildlife Fund, for a marathon I'm doing next year. And I didn't really know much about endangered animals until I decided to choose that charity to fundraise for. So I've learnt a lot, and it's just, it's interesting, and it's also really sad. So I decided to do a little bit of real-time footage as well as sped up. I'm not sure what people like to watch the most. I don't really mind what I watch. I kind of just like it when people talk a lot. I get bored when there's just music. So if I'm chatting too much, I'm sorry, but it's just what I enjoy watching myself, I guess. So here starts the hard animals. This is the Arctic wolf, and it is so cute in photos and it is so difficult to draw. One of the reasons I found this animal how to draw is because the reference photos are very confusing for it. So it actually has a winter coat and a summer coat, and the winter coat is this big white fluffy coat, like a big white fluffy husky dog, and then the summer coat is like this really kind of scrawny looking brown coat. And so it says Arctic wolf in all the reference photos, but they look different from the summer and the winter wolf. So I decided, no, it's not a wolf, sorry, Arctic fox. Have I been saying wolf this whole time? I do apologise. So the Arctic fox, I decided to choose the winter coat because it was just really cute and I guess fluffy. So I thought, hey, that'd be fun to draw. And I tried to use the ink in a way that would kind of represent its fur. One thing that I have been finding hard to draw to represent is the white animals, because there's a lot of like, I did a polar bear and then I have the Arctic fox and I have the cranes, the penguin, they're all white. So you can't just keep it white, can you? So you have to like put some shading in. So most of my animals turn out a little bit pink or blue, but I think it's okay. And then these triangles here I added for like the snow. I thought that looked pretty cool. I think one of the most fun things I found this Inktober is trying to figure out what gold accents I want to do. So try and do something different with every image. And these little triangles I think are probably my favourite, as well as the stripes. Oh, so I haven't said anything about the Arctic fox. So the Arctic fox is actually no bigger than a house cat, so it's a tiny little creature, and it has some special adaptations that let it survive the Arctic environment, which is obviously very harsh. So its ears, its legs and its muzzle are short to prevent heat loss, and as I said before, its coat changes from brown in the summer to white in the winter. So I thought that was pretty cool, like most animals I guess. So the reason the Arctic fox is having a tough time is because, like most animals that live in the polar regions, its environment is changing quite fast. So it's just habitat loss and change, really. I do think I might be getting a little bit better at my line work. I still find it hard to do the circles, but if I just avoid circles in the future, I should be okay. And this is the Arctic fox. I quite like how it turned out. So next up is my favourite creature to draw this week. It was so much fun. I wanted to do more pages. The polar bear. Who knew bears were so fun to draw? So I decided to do the stripes again, and I've just sped it up to the end here because it's kind of boring watching someone paint stripes. So the polar bear is obviously one of those creatures that we automatically identify with as being endangered, because when everyone says, you know, like global warming and the polar ice caps are melting, the first thing you think about is, oh, the polar bears. So this was quite an obvious choice, but I definitely wanted to do a polar bear because they are so cute, and also they are endangered, so, you know, don't want to lie about it. So polar bears were listed as endangered in 2008, and they are very talented swimmers and spend 50% of their day hunting, mostly seals. And if polar bears became extinct, the population of walruses, seals, whales and reindeer would increase and become out of control. One thing I found interesting in that was it said the population of reindeer would increase. And I don't know if polar bears eat reindeer. I don't know if reindeer go as close to water so that the polar bears can eat them. So I guess it maybe is a knock-on effect. So if you haven't watched my other videos, I am using the Liquitex muted inks, the Liquitex muted collection, and I really love these inks. The best thing about them, and kind of a bad thing as well, is that you only need a tiny bit of the ink because they're so pigmented. So I literally use a drop for each image of whatever colour, a drop of each colour. But I never use it all, so it just dries and then you can't re-wet it. So I kind of feel a little bit wasteful, but at the same time, like, what am I going to do? Not use it? So that's the polar bear. I think I made its face a little bit too fat. And then the next 3 days I wanted to include, it's the snow leopard, the white tiger, and the jaguar. So I just wanted to take us up to day 20. And then hopefully in the next video I will have something similar, where I do a few videos and then just show you images of the rest, because we have 11 days left, so that would be quite a long video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.